Oh no, why is it doing your face? Hang on, guys. There we go. I don't know why it does this, man. We had the same problem last time. It's like, for a whole season, like 90% of this season and all of season 1, we had no issues with the game capture, mixing up Skype with StarCraft. And then for some reason, beyond my knowledge, this... you know what it is? I got it. OBS just loves you. The camera loves you, girl. Work it.
Work it, work it. I don't know. You should have heard Fear Dragon just complaining about his production.
What do you mean?
Of course, I don't notice, and I wasn't actually talking to chat, but he would always be like, "Oh nope, that's the wrong map intro," or "I have no idea why I keep showing PvP," or "Oh no, that's Zombie Grope's face." Like
See,
every single time.
Production isn't that easy, guys. Like a lot of people like rag on Red Bull and stuff, or like big events when something goes wrong, and I'm just like, oh no, I got the wrong overlay. Son of a gun. See, this is. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to go with the quote-unquote inferior game heart model here, guys. When we get into this first game, I do wish they would standardize this and let us use game heart because, quite frankly, I hate the ESL one they make us use, but. We've voiced our opinions to the Copa people, guys. Maybe one day in the near distant future they'll allow us to start using the game heart overlay or something else. But yeah, so enjoy the awkward looking placement of things for now. This is Copa America. We got a bit of an early pool, and by a bit of an early pool I mean a 7 pool coming out of Catz. So we better get these intros out of the way. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map from Root Gaming in the semifinals for Copa America Season 2. It's the red Zerg player Catz.
He never writes as the blue Protoss. It's Desrow.
Okay, so pool this early, guys, is really meant to just shut down anyone who plays greedy in the slightest. Like, if Desrow doesn't open... like, hell, even if Desrow opens with, like, a Forge, that's still a little bit risky. Unless Desrow goes Gateway Expand, he's going to feel the burn of these Lings. It looks like he is going to go for Gateway Expand, so... this out of Catz is going to be annoying, this out of Catz is going to sting, but I don't think this is going to end the game.
Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure to do much at all. It really depends on Desrow's micro, I would say. Sometimes we see miraculous holds, like with probes, they don't take any damage, and we're like, what? And then sometimes, of course, we see what I think we expect to see, which is like, you know, 3 probe kills, maybe, you know, with good micro from Catz.
But see, that's the problem, right? Like, it's not about trading evenly or efficiently. You want to be able to do some massive damage with this. So that's a bit awkward as the probe wades its way through the first 6 Lings. Says, "Oh, well, I guess this is happening." For Catz, I mean, you have to dedicate to this. There's no like you're gonna macro off this if you do enough damage, but 17 probes, he's gonna have to kill at least half of these. And if Desrow micros correctly with 1 zealot being chronoed out, possibly. I mean, it's really unlikely he's gonna take too much damage.
Yeah. I mean, we all know Catz likes doing stuff like this, and so. It's almost surprising that he keeps doing it, you know? Because it's either weird or it's a little bit cheesy, and I think Desrow would know that. And not go for Nexus first.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where you prepare for your opponent. I guarantee you, by the way, Desrow really wants to win. Like, he's a competitive player by nature, everyone knows this, and to an extent where you could almost call him a tryhard, but I guarantee you he came here today prepared for Catz specifically and explicitly. So, I mean, right now out of Catz, this is really annoying, but as soon as that Mothership Core comes out, this becomes a lot less difficult to deal with. And Desrow, I feel, has already got adequate defense. 2 Zealots can hold position on top of the ramp and position absolutely perfectly. But, ooh, perhaps going to chase too far and not go for that whole position. I like this pylon, though.
Yeah, and the Mothership pops out just in time to really help out those Zealots. I mean, he would have... it's 4 Lings to a Zealot, you know, unless the Micro's involved, pretty much. So, he would have lost most of his Lings taking those down anyways.
Well, what I actually really like there, this pylon needs to be talked about a lot. This creates a lot of surface area for like 1 probe to sit for 2 Zealots to go. I mean, Desrow was, I'd say, panicking a little bit, nothing crazy. Why, Quay? Why is there a drone over here?
Well, okay, that may have been a wrong rally, but it also may have been an attempt to hatchery block.
That's what I was thinking, because it's Catz, right? Like any other player, you just like miss rally, but for Catz, you're like, okay, intentional.
Yeah, I don't know, because he didn't have enough minerals, maybe a fake too. Well, whatever it was.
Well, either way, Desrow's calmed down for now. Looks like he's okay, guys. So, for Catz, I don't know. This was, it was a bold opening here. It's only game 1 in what is the best of 5, so it does put Desrow on the defense mentally for game number 2 at the very least. I mean, it's kind of a consolation prize to look at it like that, but that is the truth of it. I mean, Desrow's not going to probably go for Nexus first, I think, any game today, not after this first game's opening. Oh, he's going to 3-gate it. 4-gate, maybe?
Usually, it would have to be in the main.
Well, I'd really like this a lot, because you got to consider, normally this tears down a third base and puts you even on the economy, but Desrow's already ahead, so to speak, because of the way Catz opened this. So, if he applies a 4-gate to this natural base, I don't think Catz is going to hold this, not in a million years.
It looks like that's not exactly the plan. He does throw down a forge.
Okay, there you go. See, this is... I would almost argue this is like one of the weaknesses of Desrow. Like, you don't see him do a lot of all-ins early, and he does play towards the macro game. And you got to consider, if that's going to be his mentality, that's just all the time in the world for Catz to recover off this.
Yeah. And it does come down to, like, time needed for Catz to recover. So, he could still be doing, well, he throws on 1 gas. I mean, you know, +1, get the Immortal Sentry going. Very popular build on this map. And still, like, I mean, defending against that specific build, if Desrow is choosing to do it, it usually requires absolutely perfect, you know, execution before the attack even happens. So messing up a 7 pool, not getting enough damage done, doesn't really lead well into it. But like you said, Desrow likes to play to, like, a fast third a lot of the time, so I don't know if it's actually it.
Well, it's an abnormal situation, so it might not be his standard go-to, but
True.
I mean, once again, guys, plotting Desrow, he held the early game on this pretty much as perfect as it gets. He didn't lose anything to Catz. The only thing he's going to lose is he tried to get like a Huck Ninja probe out on the map. Not quite as ninja, though. Actually, he does need to send another one out, though. This is going to be a forced recall if not careful.
I feel like he's planning on it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Catz has done a lot of spine callers too. This is so limited on the damage it can do. If this was like a full all-in, I think Desrow stomps through these spines like nobody's business, but it's not. This is a poke. Emphasis goes on poke.
Did he try and build a hatchery and cancel it seeing this coming? I can't tell. I'm trying to figure that one out. Well, either way. I does see the probe trying to maybe put down a third for Desrow. And Desrow is getting, you know, the Twilight Council plus the Robo, so it is going to be a third. But Catz... going to go for a fast lair. I mean, Desrow scouted everything and didn't have to recall or use any sentry energy. That was pretty worthwhile. Oh, I was so worried that was me. I'm so glad to see that lag screen.
Yeah, I had that moment too where you're just like... but anyways, yeah, so trying to get his third established, he's also going to chase this off. It looks like he might get this down, but you know, I gotta tell you, like... Desrow, because he plays, he's a lot like he's like Major or Polt in this regard. Like, his strength comes from his standard play, and he's really good at it. But I would love if he faked a third and then all in, because Catz, there's no way he prepares for that.
That is, I think that would actually be really, really good. Probably not going to be the case. He is also developing into attack and those upgrades, so he's gonna at least wait for a blink. But I think what he might do, because it is so popular, just in general, is the +2 blink all in off 3 bases, or even the +3.
Yeah, well, I mean, Blink's Desert's MO to begin with. He's really good with it in the first place, and Mass Stalker's been taking a pretty big precedence in this matchup.
Yeah, they certainly are versatile. I enjoy using them. I'm glad that they are a basis that you can really branch out with.
Oh right, I forgot you've been scumming it up with Protoss on your ladder adventures recently.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm pretty much like officially random now. I don't know. I like playing random. It's fun, guys.
I enjoy it too, man. People get all salty if you tell them your race because they don't believe you half the time. So I just stopped telling people my race.
Oh, really? I've never gotten anyone that said I don't believe you.
Really? I don't believe you, and then I get like 7 scouts all the time. But irrelevant for now. Well, maybe.
No
yeah, no cancel. That's going to sting for Catz, but he does take another base behind this, and he is going for those disgusting Swarm Host type units. Now, for me, I'm sitting here delectably enjoying this because with Spine Cars down and Swarm Host out, there's no ground push that's going to end Katz's life, and he'll actually be able to defend a third with this. The scary thing to consider, though, is as the game gets later on, we've actually seen Desrow both win and lose in glorious and horrific ways against Swarm Host, so the question is, like, is Desrow on his game today to deal with this?
Well, he's already getting a lot of the things that you need to prepare against him. I mean, he has the Blink, obviously, so you can start to run around the Swarm Host. He's getting Ore Prism to run even further around the Swarm Host, and of course, behind that, you build up Colossus. It's pretty straightforward, but what's really important is that Catz just can't get a third base for the love of anything. I mean, the Force Fields are really good.
The Force Fields are actually amazing. The Force Fields are God mode right now. Gets the cancel. So this doesn't miss this one. Starts rebuilding it probably immediately, I imagine. But some credit to Catz, though. With all this wonderful creep spread, it's the reason he can actually afford to defend a lot of this. He can reposition the spines as well. I mean, for Desrow, he's got his own third already up and running. He's sitting on 66 probes. He's happy.
Yeah. Not feeling so good for Catz. Swarm hosts can really buy you a lot, you know, since they, after you get the Swarm host, they don't cost any money to keep attacking, but it's just, you know, Desrow knows how to deal with it when it's a perfect game, so if he already has this lead and has killed so many thirds, then he's going to be able to deal with it amazingly.
Well, if Catz can get the fourth up, maybe that's where he starts catching up, of course, but down here on the left side of the map, we got that War Prism flying, heading right towards the main, and Catz, you know, with all the Swarm hosts out on the front, all the Spine Crawlers nowhere to be found, this is going to be hard to deal with, and there's 23. Why is there so many drones in this base? I guess because he couldn't take that third. Never mind, makes sense. Just not used to seeing 23 out of 24 this late in the game, but of course, it's better to have them here than long distance mining. Swarm hosts are going to try and reposition. The problem is, as they do, it's going to maybe cost the Queen. He mistransfuses. Ooh, that's going to suck.
Yeah. And this is just, you know, really, it's messy, you know, dealing with all these zealots, with all the Swarm hosts, then of course counterattacking. Desrow is. I mean, he could also warp in more at the third and try and cancel it again.
Well, this fourth base probably not going to live.
Oh, these force fields.
Yeah, Desrow really abusing against the Swarm host quite nicely. You know, I asked a few minutes ago, like, is he going to be on game, on point to deal with this? And, you know, he's not forced to do a lot of recalls. He's not bleeding out units or sentries needlessly. Like, he's handling this pretty much perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, really the only resources he's given away is, like, the zealots that he meant to give away, you know? So, that's looking pretty good for Desrow. It's not over yet, as Catz has finally successfully gotten the third, but oh my god, adding 5 more gateways is fourth actually finished. His upgrades are going to be absolutely fantastic. Catz still on none.
I like the War Prison speed increase too. As if this thing isn't pesky enough to deal with as is, you give it speed boost and it's even harder to track down unless you got mutas.
Yeah, it's gross.
Well, Desrow is going to come down the same pathway he's continually been attacking down, but he's got Colossus this time, so beating back the Locust Waves actually isn't out of the question. I think one of the key things he is doing is cleaning up some of the creep tumors here as well. I mean, the speed bonus they provide to all Zerg units is great, but it's also vision that he needs to remove from Catz, so Catz has to play a little bit more blind and a little bit more scared, because we look around the map, there's like one Overlord on Desrow's half of the field. There's not a lot of scouting going on.
I think Desrow has more scouting with all these proxy pylons in the Warper Zone.
Yeah, actually, I would agree with that statement. He's got the Watchtower as well.
Oh, that's a Colossus. Just chilling. Yeah, the Zelnaga. There you go.
Alright, we got the War Prism hitting the main at the same time. There were Swarm hosts left here, but the Locusts just left the base. The babies are not here.
That's 4 Swarm hosts out of 19 dedicated to just the main.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like he's going for the 4th base, but there is actually no 4th base to kill. Catz says, nope. Just kidding. Gotcha. Tricked.
I don't know how good of a trick it is. You kind of want a 4th base by now.
Yeah, I know. It's like watching the Joker from Batman. It's self-destructive. But those War Prism in the main is doing a ton of damage. Those drones, you remember how stacked up they were? They get bled out really fast. Up to 21 workers dead, Zombie Grub, from this crazy attack.
Yeah, if he had an Observer over here, he could probably kill a lot of the Swarm hosts as well. Lucky for Catz, they will eventually clean this up. But you know, with 4 bases and as many games as Desrow has, yeah, he can outproduce the Locusts killing, like, DPS.
Yeah, I mean, these are Zealots with level 3 weapon upgrades. They, like, 3-shot everything at this point. Here comes the Observer. He's going to kill the Swarm host. I don't know how this thing snuck into the base. I mean, Desrow's doing this without the Colossus. He's doing this without the Immortals. As you see, guys, finally getting cleaned up because he's rallied all of these units back. But this gives Desrow the go-ahead to say, hey, wait, if you've got, like, 9 Locust Waves in your main base, chances are they're not rallied out here in the front. So he starts pushing. Force fields will go down. He'll lock out a lot of the Locusts. He'll clean up a lot of these buildings for free as well. Good push here out of Desrow down the middle of the map.
Yeah. You know, sometimes there are games where the casters say that someone is setting the pace or setting the tone. It's more like Desrow is literally like riding Catz right now. Like he actually has
phrasing,
his, like, reins. I know, right? He has his reins in his hands, and he's just pulling Catz everywhere.
Well, I don't know if I go that far, but we do have to remember Catz is, you know, there's very rarely a game in StarCraft 2 any race so where you open with a 2 racks, a 6 pool, or a proxy gate that ends up going well to the late game. But credit where credit's due, Catz is holding on to what should have been a very lost game, in my opinion. I'd say like almost 9 minutes ago. had Desrow gone for those gateways we had talked about. But I think with the DT, with the Dark Shrines finally coming in, this is going to be what seals the deal. Because Catz is already struggling to deal with these zealots. It's not going to be a lot easier if you can't see the invisible ones.
I just feel like Catz can't catch up. It's so rare that you see this. I mean, okay, sometimes like a warpsman gets a good warp in, and sometimes they get a free base snipe, but it's just, you know, Desrow doing everything he's supposed to so much faster than Catz is.
Dude, the Sanitarius guy I think is still lagging.
I know, and how do they not notice this?
Well, players are usually the first to complain, so if they're not, we won't. But Storm goes down on top. This Time Warp is actually quite fantastic in this regard. Base for Catz goes down. He's going to lose the 4th at the same time. His main still stands, albeit just barely, but this is a situation where Catz has a lot of these free-producing units, but he doesn't have any money to work with behind them.
Yeah. He took a surprisingly good trade right there. All the fungals went down, killed a lot of the buffer, but the 6 Colossus still live.
Oh, he actually might retain this base with the Spine Cars being repositioned, but the Zealot's still going to make this so low. Another Warpin's going to finish this off no problem.
Yeah, and he lost all the queens that are transfused.
You know, it's this rare instance, the one time in StarCraft 2 I'm glad I'm tearing, because you can just repair.
Oh. Okay. Oh, he does have transfuse. Okay, so he does transfuse it back up, but you know what? There's no Spore Crawlers. There's no Overseer. And I don't know where the fungals are.
Not here.
Oh, DTs, why are you so... Oh, so much DPS.
Why are you so strong? Yeah. Look, okay, real talk. Look at this one DT on the side. Like, he doesn't have a scythe. He's totally got like a side blade like Zealots use. Why do they not just equip this technology on Zealots? Seriously. I'm just saying. They're
not trained. I mean, they train for like 100 years damn between a gateway and a wall, but they're not trained in a scythe.
To be ninjas, and I'm not talking about a scythe. I'm talking about how like some of the Dark Empire just have like the Zero tool blade on their wrist. You know
what? Why aren't all militia just, you know, freaking special forces?
Why can't they equip SCVs with rocket packs? I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, I guess. But Blinding Cloud and Fungal Growth actually going to stall Desrow out here a little bit. This is kind of a classic Catz move as far as tactics go. Nice abduct as well, but this hardly dents Desrow's economy. Look at that bank behind it. This guy's not maxed out, but he doesn't need to be, is the thing.
Catz is on two bases.
Oh, the main.
Nope, not anymore.
Oh my god, he's morphing in an Overseer, but not before a lot of these go down. Hive's also going to fall. This is such an expensive loss to take at this point in the game.
This guy's on one base. One base it is, then.
He loses all the Swarm hosts in the main. This one DT is actually going to prevail to kill the Infestors, maybe? If Desrow leaves it there? I don't know. Desrow's on fire this game, seriously, though. Like,
For sure. But, you know, we might be looking at this and being like, you know, why doesn't he just end it? He seems to be just, you know, owning Catz everywhere. But he's actually tried. Like, those 2 attacks were attempts to just end the game, probably thinking that he could.
I mean, the thing, too, is, like, look at all the static defense. Like, you don't want to throw a game you've essentially won away, right? Like, for Desrow, it's not that he's playing too safe, it's just he doesn't want to lose. As dumb as that sounds to phrase it, but, I mean, it's kind of the best way to describe it, I think. I mean, just look at the spines go. The Zealots will eventually trade out, but that's kind of the keyword, right? Like, eventually. I guess if we really wanted to go ham, we can make some Immortals right now, but these Fungal Growths have been really good. Templar can't get close enough to feedback, but they do slap a Storm down. Catz's Fungals are actually going to kill the High Templar.
Jeez. They're good Fungals.
It's like 6 Templar go down, but this is what we're talking about, guys. Like, Desrow can't end it, even though he's trying. Not with one big A move, so a lot of the guerrilla tactics, warping from the side, sending Zealots here on the left to clean up some of the Spine Cars. I mean, it's a slow and steady process, but it is steady, and it is going to win him the game. I mean, Catz, I feel like this is just stall tactics at this point. There's not really... I don't imagine he's sitting there saying, like, okay, I'm mining up one base, I still got a chance.
Yeah, I don't know what Catz is thinking right now. Unless
maybe his next move.
Well, you mean like in the series?
Well, actually, you know what? Here's a real legitimate topic, guys, and it's going to sound a little bit silly to phrase it like this, but hear me out. Desrow and Catz, of course, are not exactly BFFs outside of the game, and by staying in the game like this, Desrow might think like, okay, you've already lost, and start going a little bit on tilt, a little bit mad about like this victory. It sounds so dumb, but if Catz can actually get under Desrow's skin with a loss, this will actually lead really well into the other series. Not trying to make up fake drama or anything, guys. It's just that agitation. We've all felt it before, where you're like, okay, dude, you've lost the game. Get out.
Yeah. And it's extra frustrating that Catz is winning these engagements, even down by 60 supply. Well, actually 30. A lot of it is in drones, but it's got to be frustrating for Desrow. I'm surprised. Well, okay, finally he starts morphing in Archons. He was kind of missing like I don't know,
You
the
mean
extras,
merging? Okay.
the storms kept dying, and whoa, that was a bad A move.
Well, those locusts get dissipated here pretty quickly. The infestors, though, this fungal, like, you know, if there is one thing that's going to stall the game, it's fungal growth combined with locusts. This is ridiculous. You know what I would love, actually? I would love if Desrow would proxy a Nexus in Katz's main, just a recall to that. But this Warp Prism, who needs a recall, I guess, if you're going full force here with the Zealots. Big Warp In is going to kill a lot of units here. He's trying to take out the Spine Crawler, or sorry, the Spore Crawler, rather, so he can get those DTs in there, but that's taking a bit of time. A lot of effort. Man, Dark Templar, was it like 60 a shot with level 3? Yeah, they hit hard.
I don't know, man. I got beef with DTs.
I got beef with DTs too, man. I think everybody does, even Protoss.
I actually don't mind them as Protoss, unless it's a case where I don't have an Observer or Oracle, but...
Yeah, dude, 7-minute DT rush? So frustrating.
Cannons are so good, though. Like endgame DTs are the worst.
Yeah.
As Zerg and Terran, but when you got cannons and Protoss, like, who cares?
Well, guys, as it stands, Catz is in a pretty rough spot. He's going for Neuroparasite, which I think is really interesting. I don't know how he plans to utilize this, but I guess it'll help reduce forces. If he can get a fungal... Actually, you know what? Hang on. If he can get a fungal growth on, like, a lot of the Colossus and then walk up and neural the Colossi, maybe he turns the game around? I don't know, but the Neuroparasite's range is so short. Like, he's going to be in the range of the Colossus, of the Zealots, of the Archons, of any Stalkers. I don't know. This is weird.
Maybe hoping to grab a mothership?
For what, a Vortex? Oh, wait, just kidding.
Yeah, I don't... Well, to kill it, but he doesn't have any corruptors. So
You can,
I don't know.
I don't remember. I remember they talked about it. You can still fungal or Neuroparasite psionic units, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember there was like a time where they were talking about maybe not being able to do that or whatever, but...
I actually don't remember that at all.
You don't see fungal or Neuroparasites anymore. This is like the one aspect of the game I actually don't know everything about.
Yeah, and when you used to, it was on a mothership.
Yeah, it was like really easy to predict how it was going to go, but I guess if you Neuroparasites enough of this army, regardless of whether it's Stalker, Archons, whatever...
Just parasite everything, because how many infestors do we have?
Right, that's what I was kind of thinking, like,
60.
Fungal Growth, Blinding Cloud to cover your way in. There we go. Blinding Cloud's probably going to follow suit here in a sec, so that he can actually walk forward with those infestors and start Neuroparasiting things, is my best guess.
Where are the feedbacks? They just can't quite reach yet. There we go.
I'm waiting for those Neuroparasites to come out. Like, what's going on here? It's just going with a lot of Fungals? I mean, Fungal's 30 damage to all of these units. He's actually going to kill some Archons with Fungal Growths. Are you ever serious? Look at this. This one's going to die here on the left side to Fungal Growth.
Oh, no. The Locusts are pushing forward the infestors. He needs something to kill his Colossus.
Or take them. Or take them.
He doesn't have enough energy. I'd use so many fungals.
Oh, here comes the DTs, though. Catz is not ready for this, despite those Spore Crawlers. GG finally called. Ladies and gentlemen, after a very strange and very elongated game number 1, Desrow will take the first win in this series. And Anateris, are you serious? I can't leave the game because you're lagging.
I got out before you did that.
All right, so that's the first map here.
So I forgot. I was just reminded because I saw like a cat thing, right? Of course. I have applied to be a volunteer cat snuggler.
So isn't it just like normally a cat owner? Isn't that? I mean,
at a shelter. I socialize the cats, I guess.
Okay.
Dude, it sounds like the best job in the world. I don't get paid for it, but right? Come on.
Hey, I love cats, man. I'm not gonna dispute that, as long as they don't have like weird bugs or ticks or fleas or nothing. But looks like Merry-Go-Round will be the second map. Maybe. Wait, is it winner's pick? No.
No, it's.
Oh, they did beat us ahead of time. Sorry, I was just curious because Desrow called like "Go Merry," and I'm like, why are you picking?
Yeah.
But it's Overgrowth, Merry-Go-Round, Deadwing, King Sejong, and Nimbus in that order.
Did you see my cupcakes that I got, by the way?
No, are they on
So many things happen, man.
are they on a Twitter I can actually see, or are they on a private Tumblr BS?
It was a private Twitter. You're so dumb.
Okay, whatever.
But no, they're actually on the
You're
Twitter that
so
you can
dumb. Whatever.
see. I already ate the prettiest one, which is like a rainbow funfetti cake. But I mean, these are amazing. Whoa.
They actually look really cute. What's that one on the top right? I like that one.
Top right?
Or I guess left? It's top right for me. So
Okay. That's a dirt cake. So it has like Oreo crumbles on top.
Oh.
And,
oh,
the one
yes.
in the middle is a margarita cake. The one on the bottom. What?
I like that, like, you're like, wait, what the fuck was that? Like, you just look at the camera. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, but you just, like, look at the camera. You're like, you don't say anything. You're like, okay, well, the middle cake's pretty good, too.
Because you made a weird sound, man.
Oh. All right, well,
But
guys, we are in the lobby for game number 2, merry-go-round. And I want those cupcakes so badly, man. They look delicious.
I have to travel to Berlin, Maryland to get them.
So wait, you went to
It
Germany and what?
No, Berlin, Maryland. Maryland is a state, and there's a. It's right outside Ocean City, which is why I went there. But it won the coolest little town in America because it has freaking awesome cupcakes.
Isn't that just adorable? All right,
It's
well,
good.
what is this? I actually have to do map intros because you know Fear Dragon jokes that I wasn't here for to experience.
He would finally get them queued up and ready to go too, and it'd be the wrong one.
You know what? Like that was me the first weekend at Copa though. I can't even give him crap for that.
I don't know which one I should eat tonight.
Well, guys, I'm not sure what we're waiting on, but we got everyone in here, and it looks like the laggy caster's not here, so that's good news. That's a good start. Oh, he lags.
I'm awfully surprised the cast didn't say anything. I mean, the players.
They did. Are you not in the player chat?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Desrow just like called him out pretty much as soon as we got out of the game. Like, yo, that was ridiculous. I typed it out at the same time too, so it's not like I'm trying to make Desrow to be like the bad guy here, but that lag is
Both of you look like a bad guy. Just kidding.
Ha. Trick's on you. I'm really the Batman, so you just think I'm the bad guy, but really I'm a good guy. What's up, Gotham?
No. No. Dude, are you so excited for Pro League tonight?
No.
Shut up. Yes, you
I'm
are.
going to a wedding, man.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot that you were going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I'm going to wake up at 5:30 to watch Pro League and then go right into Olimo League. And then I'm going to Otakon tomorrow. So I don't get any sleep tomorrow either. Like, God.
Otakon. Just Metal Gear all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But no. It's like an anime convention.
That should be a good time. Take lots of pictures, man. I always want to see like those convention stuff, but I only ever get to see it from the point of view of all these stupid cosplayers. Yeah.
We are going to a convention in Toronto.
I know. I'm looking super duper freaking forward to it. I saw a commercial on the TV for it actually. I was making supper and my sister was watching like CSI or something dumb, but it's like it looked like the commercial had a budget of $5 and like the text at the end of the commercial was like in Comic Sans as well, but it's like whatever.
Yeah. There was actually some really like infamous guy, I think, did this really terrible commercial for like Katsucon or something. It's still up on YouTube, and it is the cheesiest, most weeaboo thing you'll ever see. It's terrible.
Well, guys, looks like we're almost ready to go here. There we go. Countdown has begun. Hopefully no lag this time. Merry-go-round will be map number 2. We'll see you in a sec. Oops. Alright, so I hope I got the right overlay on this time. I'm pretty sure I fixed it. But we're gonna have to wait and see, because I actually don't remember. I think I reset it when I was talking about it. Hopefully this looks nice. You know what I should do? I should just, like, accidentally forget the overlay every game, so that we can use game heart. Like,
I don't feel like that.
Oops, my bad. I did it again. Oopsies.
Frickin'. And we do like you seen the dog and the guy?
Yeah, hands
like,
on the hips,
you.
and he's like looking down. Yeah, yeah. That's like my favorite meme. Just by the way. Dude. Anyways, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Game number. Well, and a terrorist, get out.
Bam. Well, at least he was like polite enough to do it right now, right?
Polite enough to lag at the start of the game, like yeah, and then not leave. Such a manner guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, well, if you guys are just joining us here on the broadcast, welcome back. This is the semifinals for Copa America Season 2. Right now, we're in the first semifinal, best of 5. After this one, of course, will be Cham versus Major in a TVZ. But, of course, we have this wonderful PVZ in front of us. So, oops, as I pressed all the wrong buttons, let's hop into the intros. Spawning here in the lower central portion of the map on merry-go-round. It's going to be the Blue Protoss player, Desrow.
In the upper left, as the red Zerg, it's Catz.
Oh yeah, might not have a team, but sponsored by Asus. So there you go, Desrow. It's a big capital R in his name as well. Make sure, because he got all upset about that last time. We'll get a scout off here on the first scout, which is a nice start. But with that pylon out there at the front, I'm wondering Forge ? Or Nexus first. I think if he misscouted, it'd probably be like the other way around. But I mean, Desert and cannons are not something we see a lot of, guys. I don't know how dedicated he would go to it.
Well, it doesn't look very dedicated at all. He's at 13. Doesn't have a probe on its way to build a forge, so yep, it's gonna be a Nexus.
Alright, so yeah. I think if you don't scout this first, the forge is a little bit of a safer opening because you can get a defensive cannon, not knowing what Catz is gonna do. I talked about how Desrow probably wouldn't go for a Nexus first after that first game, and I still think that would be the case if he didn't luck out with his scouts early. But having recognized where Catz is, he saw that there was no pull down, he didn't have to worry about any shenanigans, can feel kind of comfortable taking a Nexus. Oh, drone punches too hard, Desrow. How'd you lose that fight so bad? 13? What?
Dude, I don't know. I tried. There's one thing I can't do yet as a random player, and that's predict who's going to win in like a drone, probe SCV fight. I'm good with SCVs if I'm SCVs.
Well, hang on. Probes can cheat, though, because if you run like this, your shields regenerate significantly faster than a drone's HP regen, so you can actually just, like, run away, get that extra 5 health, and pretend you're an SCV.
Right, yeah, but I always get it wrong. I, like, you know, just aim at it and be like, oh, I'm going to win, and then I don't, and I'm like, oh, because this reason, and I'm done.
I would...
Oh, well.
I wish I played StarCraft2 back in the days of... Oh, wow, third hash for pool. Back in the days when the SCV still had like another 10 health or whatever. That sounded like it was good times, man.
Dude, Brood workers were legit. They were so legit. They like, you know, you pull like workers in StarCraft 2 and most of the time it's like, lol, you're dying. You pulled workers in Brood War and suddenly like you win the fight amazingly and you're like, oh, okay then.
The only experience, because you know I'm a filthy casual and I just played a lot of custom games, but I do remember, and this worked in real games for Brood War, you could do that thing where you like shift Q, build, cancel a drone, and make it fly across the map. Did you ever see that?
I did not. They probably patched that out of ladder.
Yeah, well, it was available for a little time on ladder. At least I know that much because I didn't play a lot of ladder, but the couple of horrible games I played, I remember someone did that to me, and I was like, "How does this work?" And I guess it came from some custom game where they realized you could do this. It's kind of a good times, good times. Shout out to anyone else who totally cheated back in the day. But alright, so Desrow's got a pretty solid wall at home. He's got the cannon up, he's got the gateways on the way, and the cyber core as well. His tech hasn't been delayed, and of course with the Nexus first, you can have a couple extra probes to work with. And while we can't show you cool graphs like we can on the Game Heart beta stuff, oh my god, what's going on? It's not me, right?
It's an infection.
Who's next?
Not us.
Hopefully. Knock on wood.
Well, check your Skype. Yeah, I figured it's StarCraft. Rest in pieces.
What is that? What's that in relation to? What's the context of what you just linked
You
me?
said that's my favorite meme with the OU.
Yeah, the dog guy.
Yeah, so I was like, I thought about my favorite, and then I found it, right? And I'm like, I can't believe I never used it on you.
Well, I can't say that
because-
one on stream, sadly. So.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of different variations. They just like Photoshop her face on like a bunch of things. It's so funny. Oh, I love it.
Alright, well, Zombie Grub is being really cool here with inside jokes, guys. I'm sorry about this. I'd just like to apologize for her.
Guys, it's the meme side-eyeing Chloe, and I just, I'm just talking about how I should always use it for, like, on Rifkin.
Yeah,
That's my
that
face
sounds like a
sometimes.
good response to like 90% of what comes out of my mouth. But okay, so Desrow and Catz have evicted one legger from the game. But alright, so real talk, guys, we do have a Stargate opening here out of Desrow, which I really enjoy. A lot of the times we talk about players' Oracle control being a little bit shaky, and I don't think Desrow is exactly the best I've ever seen, but it's not too bad. He's also a player who does like playing Phoenix. We talked before how he likes to aim towards the macro. I saw another spike, and I was like, really? He likes to play towards the macro game, so it would make a lot of sense to me for him to go for the Phoenix opener leading into the Colossus tech. They did cue that towards the Overlord, so I'm thinking it might at least be one Phoenix to open, bare minimum.
Well, Catz, he opened up with that 3 hatch, and he got away with it, so that's pretty nice for him. Now only has, interesting enough, only 1 Evo chamber. If you go upgraded lings, it's usually double. Like, that's what you say, double upgraded lings. So it's odd to see just 1.
There's the Phoenix. So the reason this can get a little bit nasty and quite frankly very annoying is because, well, Catz is going to just build a couple spore cars and it'll stop this from getting out of hand. But the nice thing about Phoenix, when controlled properly, Desrow is going to be able to just get around the map. And this is actually really problematic here. If we can talk for a moment about the slag. Because when you do go for something Phoenix-oriented, a lot of it comes down to control, not missing the graviton beams, getting in and out at very precise moments. If this lag persists, this might actually be... This is considered kind of counter-intuitive to what Des was gone for here, but yeah, this is the robo facility. So he's going to be trying to get Colossus out behind this.
Yes, it is, Catz. Yes, it is. On tourist.
It's going to put my disapproval in there with a couple of eyes. I mean, of course, guys, for a lot of these streamers, I don't know if they're the actual streamer, just commentator. Hopefully it's nobody in too critical of a role. Because, like, if you've got a co-cast, like, if Zombie blags out, or whatever, Rifkin solo cast, right, as much as it's horrible to hear. But if you're the streamer, you're just kind of like SOL on this. Yo, I just had an idea for a new emoticon, by the way. We should totally make, like a little swear jar emoticon.
Oh, so when we swear, we put money into it?
No, but like people can just put it down like every time we swear, or we're like,
Yeah.
oops, I mean, I didn't mean to, or...
Yeah, I didn't mean we actually put money into it, but like that's the...
Yeah, I'm gonna insert some Twitch dollars and Dogecoins for every time I say the F word.
No, we need to use one of our emotes for the hoi hoi hoi. That's just... It's gotta happen.
Yeah, I've been told that a lot. I kind of hate it because it's like a temporary one. Like, I don't even know if I can use that intro anymore. I mean, I guess we can for live stuff, but I don't want to cut people out of the VODs.
You can't be in VODs, but then you just have to make sure to cut the intro out of the VOD, which sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have logic. I have logic that helps me save hoi hoi hoi.
Don't say you're saving it like that. It just makes me depressed and sad. Okay, well, I hit drop. Oops.
You're supposed to. Waiting for you.
Wait, was I... No, you only need like 3 votes, don't you?
No, they were waiting for someone. They were like, referee pressed drop, and then nothing happened, and then you say, oops, I dropped him, and that's when he dropped. So...
Well, yeah, I didn't know if I was supposed to, is what I'm saying. I like kicked
Yo,
the
you were.
drop. Alright, anyways, guys, we're back in action. Catz does have +1 melee weapon upgrades finishing here in a moment. On a map like Merry-Go-Round, I wouldn't be shocked to see Ling Hydra come out of him. It's not the most uncommon strategy in the world, and it does actually work out pretty well versus Phoenix openers especially. Because one of the things is, no matter how good Phoenixes are versus light units, they'll never have the energy in the world to lift up every single Ling.
Yeah. I think Katz's plan here, and it's a pretty good plan, really, is that if Desrow is planning on taking a safe third behind his Phoenix harass and scouting, obviously these Lings would take it down no problem. And in fact, Desrow sees all the Lings popping out and knows that there's no way he's going to hold a third and cancels everything.
Yeah, pretty smart move there. Don't want to play too risky. For Catz, alright, so he's got control of the map in regards that Desrow's probably not going to take a third anytime soon. This kind of sucks for Desrow, but at the same time, when you go for Phoenix Colossus, it doesn't require that third. You can play off of 2 bases. In fact, you can even turn into a 2-base all-in if you really want to go ham with it, but as we see, Desrow not getting a whole lot done with the Phoenix at the moment. It is worth noting, too, he's one of the few players in StarCraft 2 who'll go higher than 5. Probably not here to start, but I've seen Desrow play around with like 13+, especially versus Terrans as well. Unrelated,
Zealot.
I hate that strategy versus Terran. So frustrating.
Oh, the Phoenix Colossus? Yeah,
Yeah.
you and Young. To be South America.
A needless shots fired. Oh my god.
I know.
Here goes the War Prism. Really good harass out of Desrow's got out of this thing last game. I wouldn't be surprised if he got some good damage with it again. Queen's here to defend, but really that's kind of it. It's just Queens. There's a lot of Zealots warping in. He can Graviton beam them up as well. Yeah, I'm gonna prevent those transfuses from going out. Phoenixes, you want to try maybe attacking instead of just sitting there?
Oh yeah, that was
Nope.
pretty lazy of him.
Alright, so it's kind of just trading energy for now, but look at this whole position on the ramp.
Oh.
No amount of Lings that Catz has. Like, it's great that he has all these Lings, but this is 6 Zealots they gotta chew through. Desrow's gonna kill so many Zerglings before he finally falls. I mean, he's going to go down, but oh my god, he's just racking up the kills right now.
Yeah, and all the queens. All the queens are dead. Catz has to rebuild at least 3 just to larva inject, plus a couple of more if he wants any creep spread or to use them. Helpful too is what I would only expect to be Swarm Host as the infusion point goes down.
Yeah, I mean, look at the resources lost graph there is pretty nice to see there for Desrow. But of course for Catz, I mean, he's not really sweating it. You know, Queens, Lings, they're just mineral-based units, something he's going to have a lot of. I mean, look at that mineral bank he's floating right now. A big part of this is because he took that 3rd so early. He's taking a 4th right now as well. I'm really curious. I kind of wanted to see Mutacorruptor out of him, but I've never seen Catz go Mutacorruptor into Phoenix, so I have no idea how good versus bad he is with that. I'm sure he's probably done it on stream before too, but heavily investing in the Lings like this doesn't mean he's going to take a big swerve with his strategy.
Most are being created now. Enduring Locust, you know what? Did Enduring Locust actually go down last game? Never actually paid attention.
I believe it did.
You would expect so, but there have been a couple of players that have forgotten it. And it became like a really big deal too. It's like they set up their Swarm Host in a certain position.
Is that Petraeus? I'm trying to remember who that was. I know exactly. Hendrix? No, I don't think it was Hendrix. Hendrix was too good with Storm House. It had to have been somebody else. But I remember what you're talking about. Like it would have been a position where any other game they would have been comfortable, but there was going to be the Enduring Locust upgrade coming out, and Catz has got quite a bank to work with. His gas, alright, a little bit in the gutter because he spent so much of it on tech, but the idea is, and we see players like Starbuck utilize his best, I think. You use the Swarm Host not to go super aggressive, but just to hold a line, hold a position, have this one spot where you know Stalkers, not Vikings, what I'm saying, your Zealots and Sentries aren't going to be able to move forward from, but that's still so many Lings that as soon as 2-2 finishes up, they're going to chew through buildings, no problemo.
Yeah. We've certainly seen a lot of that, so really good SimCity usually does wonders, but Desrow not having it up quite yet. Whoa, those Swarm Hosts are really bold.
Yeah, that Zealot's also the worst Gate Guardian ever. He walked away so 2 Lings could get in. Catz needs to reposition this though. I don't know why he has this on the front lines.
Observer? He doesn't have an observer here.
It doesn't matter if there's an observer, because I mean the Locust is going to spawn, and the Colossus is going to splash the Swarm Host down.
Well, yeah, but I feel like now it's a trade, whereas before it was free.
I guess, yeah, that's
true.
true.
In fact, yeah, it didn't even
I like
trade,
these Lings coming from behind, not enough force fields. Forces a recall, and now there's no defense here at the 3rd.
That could have been absolutely amazing had he had an observer.
Oh, go to the 3rd. I know he's going for the natural, but go to the 3rd, man. It's just 3 cannons. You got so many Lings.
Does retreat. I mean, you usually don't see them push forward so far with Swarm Host for a reason. And he does actually trap some back in.
Well, the Warp Prism warping in a ton of Zealots, killing the Queens once again. Would like to see Desrow start utilizing the Phoenix. They've been kind of idle up here above this 3rd for a long time, whether it's harassing drones, whether it's picking up Queens, whether it's just being with the army in general. Just kind of useless supply right now with 6 of them. It's a lot of potential Graviton beams to get picked up for the Swarm Hosts.
Whoa. Oh, okay, so he was getting the double upgraded Lings eventually, and he's even continuing on because he is going for Ultralisk. This is This is a little unique. I mean, sometimes we'll see long games where they do transfer out as foremost into Ultralisk. Well, usually it's a Muta transition, but and we also see double Ling upgrades straight into Ultralisk. But Ling upgrades in a foremost into Ultras, it's a little bit of a curved path, but it gets there, and 8 Ultras are gonna go on the way.
Lings get slaughtered out here at the front base of Desrow as well. We're gonna send those back. I mean, Lings are cheap, they're expendable, but you still never want to really give them away for free. And Desrow's been pretty, I'd say solid here on the defense, but I think these Ultras are gonna catch him off guard. There's no DTs.
Yeah.
Force Fields get crushed, and well, without Immortals, there's just no fun way to deal with this. You're certainly not going to Graviton beam them up. Even though, and if any Blizzard people are listening, I still advocate you should be able to like focus fire like 7 Phoenix and pick up an Ultra. Teamwork, baby!
Oh, he sees it. He should start preparing.
Yeah, there comes down a second Robo immediately. He knows he's going to need a lot more for this. He does have a recall available still too, so I mean, well, if he were to fight this, he'd get trucked on. Yeah, he's just going to recall and avoid damage.
Yeah, the problem right now is that defending his third is going to be a little difficult. So he needs SimCity, because he doesn't have enough Immortals or Archons. That's the only way his army actually holds up against a bunch of Ultralisk. But Catz actually, he has to deal with a War Prism. That's buying him so much time.
Yeah, actually, because you kill all the queens, there's nothing to shoot this. So it actually just gets to sit here a little bit of time. Here comes the queens from the natural, from the main. I mean, the reason Catz is mass investing in queens at this point, guys, to get those transfuses. To make it so even if there's Immortals shooting the Ultralisk, they immediately get transfused and they don't go down. Because Ultralisks, they're actually not bad against Immortals. If you've got enough of them, that critical mass starts stacking up, the splash damage from the Kaiser Blades helps whittle down those shields really, really fast.
Yeah, but only if they're caught out of position. If there's any sort of SimCity, if there's not a surround, Ultras are kind of terrible. In any situation, actually. That's why we always say T3s are units are the best way to lose a game.
These Lings have been a little bit scary so far this game, but might not be SimCity, but there's a hell of a lot of cannons here.
Yeah, instance around though, and they're almost 3-3, so they're going to chop it down on that real fast. But this is drawing Desrow out, and now the Ultras are trying to come in. This is what I'm talking about. He's trying to find a good surround position for these Ultralisk.
Ultras are interesting. I do kind of sometimes miss the days where they did bonus damage versus buildings.
Oh, and Hallucinated Archon and DTs. Interesting.
He's gonna get the Nexus, but is it worth it? Catz throws away like 1 million Lings and like 5 Ultras for this.
Yeah, actually more than 4 because he got the rest of the Ultras on the left side. Cool use of Hallucination though. I mean, obviously the Force Fields aren't gonna really help. Guardian Shield, I don't know how useful that really is, but Hallucinations with no Overseer, it's pretty good.
Catz took a lot of bases behind this too, and the thing that's scary is he's actually got not a crazy bank to work with. The Muta transition, interesting. There's still Phoenix lurking about, so it's not like Desrow's going to get caught completely off guard off this. But, he's overproduced Immortals. Catz has successfully baited Desrow into making the wrong units, but it's not exactly like Immortals are terrible units against non-Ultras. I mean, they still hit pretty hard. They'll tear down hatcheries and they'll deal a lot of damage to just generic units.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely want to stop making them right now. After these last two, going to playing Stalkers, going to Archons, and then...
Oh, did he see that Muta? One Muta did pop here at the Northern Base, so if he's aware of this, he starts making Phoenix again immediately. Fleet Beacon for the Anion Pulse Crystal upgrade, but what he really needs to do is start on a second Starport. One's not going to cut it.
Yep, there it goes. Good call, Rifkian.
Yeah,
so Desrow's... It's like you watched the game or something. I don't know.
It's like I've seen StarCraft2 before. Okay, so here's one of the big things, guys. For those who don't know how this works, maybe the casual viewer, Anion Pulse Crystals give Phoenix an additional 2 range. They already outrange Mutalisks, but it makes them even crazier and easier to deal with. As we see a low amount of Phoenix already shredding the Mutas to bits, Photon Overcharge does get popped, and for Desrow, he's just got to be careful he doesn't do what he just did, where he moves too far, moves too over, I guess, zealously, but... Ling's going for a run by, and the Colossus just happened to be here defending, so that's not going to happen. Nope.
Yeah. There's not really perfect Phoenix control. You can always talk about it, but that situation almost always happens. That's why you need the Anion Pulse supposed to really be.
Yeah, it's like watching Marines cut a Stalker, right? Like you can't do it technically, but if you stop and attack at the right moment, it works out really nicely. Yeah, Protoss units have a lot of range. Just realize you got the Extended Thermal Lance of the Colossus, the Anion Pulse Crystal here on the Phoenix's Stalker base range, Tempests.
Yeah.
Man, no snipers on this map. No ops. Alright, come over here on the north side. One thing that's worth considering too, guys, while Ultras are being remade, the Immortal count's actually going to be really good versus the Infestors. Infestors are armored units, and a lot of people forget this. So, they are going to take quite a bit of damage here. 2 Immortal shots pretty much pops them off.
Yeah, and all these feedbacks and a lot of storms. I don't know who this is going to go better for.
Well, Phoenix here to guard, but sadly, there's a lot of mutas. This is one of those for the swarm moments for Catz, but he's swarming through a choke. It's not going to work out. The Immortals tear through the Ultras like nobody's business. The base does fall. He's left a couple of Stalkers here to kill the north base, but Catz doesn't really have a lot to fight with. I mean, Desrow's army's looking a little bit smaller, but Desrow's army's looking a little bit more, I guess, efficient, I guess?
Well, I mean, he kept all of his good units alive.
Exactly,
Colossus
yeah.
and the Phoenixes, so yeah, it's pretty important. I mean, his Immortals all did die, it seems, so more Ultralisk is probably the best way to go, as the Phoenix is still alive. You don't go mutas. It's just, you know, they're really expensive, and he just lost 2 bases, and he didn't really have that big of a bank to begin with, so Catz, he would have to actually kill this army, but with a recall, that's never going to happen.
Ultras have, no ass. I'm just saying. Hit up the gym,
They're not
guys.
about the booty.
Do some squats.
Did she booty? She do.
Don't forget leg day, all that stuff.
Ultras are the reason.
I should probably be the
Not
last guy
funny.
talking about asses and fitness and whatnot.
I just use any excuse to do the Dishi booty.
I guess Desrow didn't rally this. He'll probably fix that in a moment's time when he transfers probes over. So got a couple of idle workers for the time being, but I mean, this is kind of an odd disengage because for Desrow, like, he's got a massive supply lead, but he doesn't know that Catz was in trouble after this. You know, he saw so many Ultras, he saw so many units constantly being produced. Catz making more Vipers right now, but I mean, this is a situation where Desrow is discernibly far ahead. He just, there's no way for him to really know that. He hasn't been doing a lot of, you know, hallucinated Phoenix scouting. He doesn't know how many bases Catz has, what the mining count's looking like. The only scouting he's really got are the real Phoenixes that are a little too hesitant to do anything, really.
Yeah. I don't think he's identified that he's back into Ultras, so his Immortal count's back to being pretty low, but, you know, Archon's also really good, so he can just warp some of those in.
Well, you know, it's also pretty nice against Immortals, or sorry, against Ultralisks. Just walking up and down the cliffs because you're a freaking Colossus.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, too.
Alright, so as he starts pushing forward here, the big thing for Desrow is he's going to notice there's going to be a very small response, but it's worth noting, guys. Last game he got a lot of Infestors, and we kind of joked about him stalling out with the Infestors, but that's not really the case this time because there's no Swarm host to back them up. Like, a Fungal Growth will stall the army out, but the second it runs out, he just keeps moving again. Catz even helping kill that hatchery, consuming it.
It's just pretty much... Oh, he actually still has a Swarm host, but,
Oh,
this
actually,
is his last...
Phoenix gonna kill all the Vipers. No Blinding Clouds, no Abducts.
Transfuse!
Alright, Fungal's gonna hold the Colossus in place. Blinding Cloud gonna go down here as well. I'm surprised Colossus are affected by Blinding Cloud, actually. That looks weird.
Ranged.
Right? But I mean, like, Thors can still shoot up out of it. And Colossus are technically in the sky, so wouldn't they be above the Blinding Cloud?
But they don't shoot up.
Yeah,
They shoot
but...
down.
So? You got giant lasers, just blanket
They
shoot the ground.
don't want to shoot their own people. They don't have splash like Terran.
Oh, you're right. You're right. They're refined in that regard, I guess. But despite that fight, Catz still takes a pretty unfavorable engagement. Too many cannons. Wow, so many cannons. Desrow is playing tower defense over here on the 4th base or 5th base. So this is actually gonna work out pretty good because Lings don't do well with cannons. Not on mass like this.
Yeah. Desrow just has Katz's number here. He tried two transitions that seem deadly. I mean, mass Ultras into mass Mutas. That sounds kind of scary, and Desrow had no problem with it.
I like the DTs. Don't turn these into Archons.
You know, he did some of them.
So what?
Never mind.
What I was gonna really like about the DTs though is, you know, Catz doesn't actually have a lot of detection. He hasn't needed to make a lot of overseers. He's got a couple spore crawlers, but nothing that DTs actually can't focus down. So once again, while Desrow's in this awkward spot where he's won the game but doesn't know it, he could easily win it even easier if you just send out a couple of DTs, maybe reinvest in a Warp Prism, snipe off the Hive, the Ultros Cavern. You know, there's nothing up here to defend. And if Catz pulls back to defend, then Desrow kills all the mining bases. I mean, this game is over, guys. I can't see Catz winning this, but it just Desrow is once again trying to secure his victory here. And a lot of the times you could argue like this guy's just playing super scared, but it's more like Desrow wants to make sure he goes to the finals of Copa America. So I like this slower, methodical, more frustrating, but guaranteed win. Nice blink forward too, right past all the infestors, dodges that fungal. Focus firing them down. We'll lose a couple of stalkers, but I mean, you know, this is one of the times we say at what cost, but you don't mean to the player, you mean to the other player.
You even singing?
Nothing. Alright, elevator music, because we're stalling.
Oh.
We are going to see Desrow take a 2-0 lead, but it's not a best of 3, guys. It's not like other matches in Copa America. My hat looks horrible. Let's readjust that. But it is a very, very discernible lead. And Catz, I don't know. What's the third map? I have forgotten. Let's get out of the game screen here. Deadwing. Okay, so this is a map I can actually see Catz bringing this back on. I would hardly call Deadwing Zerg favored because it certainly is not, but this is one with some awesome engagement areas and potential to it, so I think if he plays this right, this could be Katz's comeback. But at the same time, too, if Desrow plays this really well, and I've seen some Protoss players really play this map nicely, this could just be a 3-0 shutdown. That'd be kind of scary, actually. When you consider, guys, Catz was, of course, the second-place finisher last season, losing only to that of his teammate Major.
I am actually kind of feeling the 3-0 for Desrow, really. And it's because his wins have not been like, they haven't been lucky, they haven't been cheesy, they haven't been, you know, miraculous. They've just been like
solid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of, you know, I would say outplaying Catz right now. Catz is trying to do like, you know, the funky Zerg way that he plays, and Desrow is having none of it.
Oh, Zeph commented on the tweet. Now I'm sad.
Why?
Your GIF tweet or whatever. My interaction.
Why are you sad?
Because I mean, she totally agrees with it.
Oh yeah, you know, her and like, you know, 10 other people that retweeted and favored him.
Yeah, like every girl basically I ever interact with. But all right, so here's the thing. I mean, I would love to ask Desrow. If I had to guess, I'm telling you, he studied up on Catz because he has. The only reason he's been playing so perfectly is because he looks so prepared for this. I mean, Desrow's not a bad player, and I'm sure he could play a blind game versus Catz no problem, but the way he's dealing with Catz is just so excellent.
Yeah, it is. Oh, whoops.
Wow, dude, stop stream cheating from 2 minutes behind. God. If you're listening, Desrow, turn the stream off, bro. He messaged me, he's like, Catz is really good at not dying with Viper Infest or Swarm mode, so I'll take my time. I think, by the way, before people start drama, I doubt he's actually watching the stream while playing. A lot of players will, after the game, turn on streams to hear like the last 2 minutes to hear what the commentators have to say. It's hardly uncommon. It happens a lot. So don't anyone take it seriously because you're just looking for trouble where there's none to be had.
Yeah.
But now I gotta stop complimenting Desrow or he might hear it. Jeez. Get that ego going for him. But it is 2-0 if you're just tuning in. It's a best of 5 semifinals. After this, we got one more best of 5 with Major versus Cham at TVZ, and I believe they're actually both online and ready to go for as soon as this one concludes. So if this ends here, if this ends in 2 games, they're both in the channel and able to play. Oh, dude, Gilly just tweeted something that's a cool story mode, but apparently saying I'm grumpy gets me followed by 3 different Grumpy Cat parody accounts. I was talking about emotion for the Oli Moly last week, and I got followed by like all these like, oh, put your emotions to rest, or relaxation spa, emotion, stuff like this, and I'm like, what? Okay, this is weird. The Twitter bots, man, they pick up on the weirdest phrases.
Yeah, I feel it happened to me once, but I don't remember the face. So, cool story.
Well, did I ever tell you about the trend one? That was probably the best one.
No.
Okay, so for those who don't know, there used to, I don't believe he's on the team anymore, but Samsung Galaxy had a Protoss player named Trend who played in the Zotac Cups. So of course when we're tweeting about like, okay, going to the next game, Trend leads 1-0. So this like magazine did like this article on like, I guess it's like a bot that just compiles tweets or whatever, but it's like, Base Trade TV is trending. And I'm like, what? Oh, because we said trend like 90 times. And they did this like, it was like a fashion magazine, and it had nothing to do with us. They were just tagging people who were like, I guess, writing trend all the time. But it had like 80,000 followers on it or something. I'm like, well, that's cool, I guess.
Cool beans, bro.
Can you not?
Serious. I guess we're waiting on some of the observers, by the way.
I think it's the guys who lagged out. They were just hoping to get in here.
Yeah, okay. But that the thing that I tweeted was just
mean.
It was not mean, but it just fits so well, right? Like sometimes you'll like, I'll just be like, you know, like blah 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 blah, and then you'll say something, and I'll just be like, yeah, okay. That's the face I imagine that I would love to make.
Well, guys, we're gonna be hopping to the next game here in a moment by the looks of it. Yeah, okay, there we go. So whenever the admin leaves, usually they ask if all the people are ready. We are, of course, ready to go. Copa America. Alright, map intro is coming. Deadwing will be map number 3. We'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, welcome back to the game. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. Oh, wait, the names do reverse. There we go. Alright, so there we have it. We are in game number 3. This could be the final match between these two. It's a best of 5, and Desrow's leading 2-0 at the moment. So Catz has really got to pull it together here on Deadwing. This is a map where I think it's got some potential for a comeback. We'll see if he goes with standard, we'll see if he goes with cheese, but spawning here in the top right corner of the map, leading the series, sponsored by Asus, powered by Corsair, it is the blue Protoss player Desrow. And this is not a good start. I am going to just be like, yo, come on. At this point, for real.
Yeah, and this is even just a, sometimes you can forgive them for like the initial 2-second lag.
Yeah, it happens once in a while.
But this is actually, I think his computer broke.
You know, this is like baseball rules. You know, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
Well, just while we're waiting for this to I guess, time out here, guys. Anyone here going to IM Toronto? Anyone here cool enough to go hang out with Zombie Grub and I while we're there? Looking forward to meeting up with a lot of our own personal subs. But if any of you guys are Copa America fans, you see us there, I highly encourage you to come say howdy. Just don't be weird about it, man.
Be weird.
Alright.
Wait. Yeah, you already did this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the bottom right, as the red Zerg, it is Roots Catz.
Yeah, where's the black bar that usually goes behind the sponsor logos? That's weird.
Oh.
What'd you do with it?
I ate it.
Whose bombs? Alright, so I'm knocking on wood because, again, after criticizing all these people for lagging out, chances are I will. But guys, we are in a very precarious situation here for Catz. You know, the lag spikes here, we're kind of joking about it, but you have to understand just how much this will put a player on tilt to try and play through even just a little bit of lag, much less constantly bad lag like we've been seeing from the observers here today. I really like his choice to take the base out here. Well, okay, let me actually rephrase that. I really like his choice to take a third further away. I would have preferred the third over here, but either way, by taking his natural base much further away, it allows him to spread his creep a lot sooner, and I love that choice.
Similar to Nimbus?
Kind of, yeah. I think it's less important on this map, but it's still a cool benefit to have.
For sure, Zeus. Yeah, I was talking with Fear Dragon about how I haven't quite like memorized the names to the maps, you know. But,
oh, you're not the only one. Wasn't it was like Destiny and like In Control, I think, were arguing about Foxtrot and Deadwing for like 10 minutes on the Destiny Invitational.
Well, you saw like all like these players, like Innovation, like legit players, did not know like horizontal, no vertical, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which
we cast Scarlet versus Select for IEM, and well, not you and I, but like myself and Hendrick, and Select had no idea it was cross spawn only, so he puts his barracks right in the middle of the map, and I'm like, yeah, dude, no.
Yeah, Innovation gets like 2-gated and he scouts the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
I could have sworn that it was Desrow who we cast, where I made that silly mistake of vertical versus horizontal, and he laughed at me.
But that was different. That was like us just describing directions that were wrong. That wasn't him not knowing the map.
I know. This is part of a story though.
Oh.
Like I thought that was the person, right? But then me and Fear Dragon are casting this, and Desrow actually scouts horizontal on this map.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, wait, I thought he did it correctly, and that's why like Rifty made fun of me last
But hang on, that was versus Huck, right?
Yes.
Huck's like the king of ninja probes. I'm actually not surprised.
It was like the first scouting probe that he. Well, actually, okay. What happened was Desrow did it was exact same positions as this, and he did a proxy in the middle of the two bases, and like those on the ledge to the right. So like he did that without scouting him at all, but still sent like his probe scout to see where he was in the top left. I don't know, whatever.
He's just like abandoned that so quickly. Have some conviction, zombie grub.
No, never. But seriously, I thought it was weird, and I thought Desrow was the guy that actually knew. Anyways.
Well, Catz probably gonna go for the inject first, yeah, but creep tumor second, so be able to accelerate that creep spread really nicely. Going for Lings as well. I mean, for Desrow, this is a map where I think for Protoss, we always talk about how they've got the potential to abuse the terrain, but we really don't see anyone do that. I'm still waiting to see like a 3-gate that's not an all-in, but involves leaving stalkers on hold position here while the Mothership Core stands above. I mean, there's so many good ways to abuse this map, but then you've got players like Desrow who, once again, I'm not trying to insult him by saying this, but more amplify his strengths, where he plays the macro game and he does it really well, but he doesn't try the different aspects of cheese or harass, or in this case, what I'm describing as map abuse.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to say. I would have memorized this map name had the ledges not been fixed. I would have loved this map and never forgotten the name. But they were.
Are you talking about the middle of the map? Or are you talking about the Reaper Cliff?
The middle of the map with MMA.
Oh, man. I know. For those who don't know what we're referring to, for the first like 2 weeks of the map being live, there weren't these little terrain blockers on top of these weird little U-shaped things in the middle of the map, so what you could do was unload Marines and Thors and tanks up there, and MMA. I highly recommend you guys look up MMA versus Damaga from Go for StarCraft. It's on YouTube if you really want to see a fun way for this map to have been designed. But Blizzard was like, oh no, the map's been out for 1 week, it must be imbalanced, we better change it. Oh, we're on a Blizzard channel right now, so no disrespect.
Let's just slide it in.
Just the disclaimer right there. That's like when you say like no offense, but and you say something really offensive.
And then it's always offensive.
I mean, there were some balance changes that actually I really enjoyed. The cross spawn disabling horizontals here, because there was some things that were pretty overpowered about the way you could abuse these hallways and such. But those came after like a good 3 weeks, a good 2 weeks of like actually playing the map. I don't like how quickly they changed Deadwing. I'm still sure they would have made the same change to Deadwing, but I wish it would have played out a little bit longer, because I just felt like they rushed it. And it's like, if you have to make these changes already, why release the maps in the first place?
Oh no, man.
Lings are actually going to run by on top of this. Going to force out a good chunk of force fields here out of Desrow. A little bit caught off guard by this.
Really caught off guard. He loses 2 sentries, I'd say, right?
Yeah, bombs finally leaves. Woo! Sorry, I don't know. I'm like BM tonight for no reason. against other casters. But does get a force field here really nicely inside the mineral line, so Cat's gonna have to disengage off of this. But he's still got so many lings as a thing. And Desrow, it's not like this is cheap. This is suddenly Desrow can no longer move out and poke. He doesn't have the sentry energy to do so. Now he has to kind of sit at home and play defensively. Something I think he planned to do for a little bit anyways, but sometimes, you know, you want to go up with that poke, 6 sentries, 5, 7 zealots, so just recall if it gets hairy. But blink behind this, as to be expected out of the Desrow.
Yeah, this is his go-to build in any PvZ that we've seen. I think we were talking about the win rates, and Desrow definitely, I think his best was a PvZ, so... It's still surprising to see him just play so dominant against Catz, but that also could be like not only being good at PvZ in general, but also having, you know, good awareness of Katz's style.
Yeah, I like the pylon he's placed over here too. This is nothing relevant for the time being, but it is another angle to attack from. Warp Prism's on the way, so Desrow playing pretty much the way we've seen Desrow play, and he gets some pretty good damage out of Warp Prism harasses. I mean, the thing is for Zerg, you can put Spine Collars down, but eventually Spine Collars are not going to trade out. But Catz, once again, we're going to see the Swarm Host, we're going to see the Fungal Growths, we're going to see the Blinding Clouds through the Vipers. I mean, this is a nasty thing to deal with. But Desrow's beaten it back twice already.
Yeah. And what we've been seeing a lot on this map, too, specifically for whatever reason, is Brute Lords. And I'm always questioning that decision. Well, this is a recall. No, actually, no. If he has enough sentry, well, he probably should.
He's going to lose a couple of these.
He definitely should have recalled.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he expected the lings inside. It was like 2 lings in there, picking off like 3 sentries. It was not a great spot for Desrow to be in, but hardly the end of the world here. Dark Shrine is coming up behind us. We're going to see these DTs out a little bit sooner than we did last time. Warp Prism is just hiding on, waiting over here. So we're going to see that nice warp in probably 4 Zealots, and he can start the harass and warp in more DTs after. But Catz, he's probably better off chipping away the debris field than he is going for this wall. It's too well defended right now.
Yeah. And that would actually be, I think, a really good move to go ahead and chip that down, because it just, you know, really bothers Desrow to have to make another wall or just to keep track of it.
Well, the Swarm Host, this is something I always get a little bit curious out of Catz. He's done this several times now. He gets really aggressive with the Swarm Host. I mean, there's just, you've got the quote-unquote range from the duration of the Locust life. Like, why put them so close to the wall? Where are these Locusts going? Oh, back home to defend. He had the rally, yeah. So this gets a little bit hairy with that Warp Prism. It does live, which is kind of scary, but with the Overseer coming in, he will hold this finally. But Catz did lose a good chunk of workers to this. 18 did die to the surprise attack.
Okay, so the worker count was significant, but in terms of, like, I think this has so far done the less damage of any Warp Prism so far. Like, 1 queen, like a lot of drones is good, but he's still continuing on, and, well... I'll have to take my statement back. This is actually really effective.
Yeah, getting it.
So many lanes.
Well, that and getting the spawning pool is kind of huge too. When you consider Desrow was fighting an opponent who was going so ling heavy for the majority of this game. But the gateway does fall and the cannon's going to go down. Hardly the end of the world here. Cat's actually fully pulling back with this. All the links coming back home. So the Infestation Pit. Desrow's Warp Prism is doing an insane amount of harass.
I can't, like, it was down to just 18 health, and only when it was almost dead did it start to do, like, really, really great damage. Like, jeez. 2 tech buildings down.
And it lives.
Afterwards.
Oh my god, it lives to see another day.
Yeah, well, that's always been a problem for Catz, right? Is that his anti-air is queens, and then the queens die. So he has no anti-air. He's actually going into Ultras again, which... I mean... I said it, like, last time, like, Ultras into Mutas, that's scary, that sounds scary as, like, you know, any player, but... It just did not work last time. Of course, Desrow did open with a Stargate, and he didn't do it this time, so maybe it'll be more effective.
I'm loving the Mothership Core. That's up to 10 kills, but it's going to kill a Swarm Host, which is kind of a big deal. Unless he gets kill stolen! No, he's actually going to focus it down. Nice. I'm the carry. Please let me get the kills. These Blink Stalkers, though, don't have a lot to... Or actually, do they have Blink? Yeah, they do have Blink. He's just soaking the hits, though, a little bit unnecessarily. We'll love to see Desrow put a wall down. I mean, losing Gateways compared to losing Stalkers. But Catz has run out of those Locusts, and now he's on the retreat. And Desrow's got Blink. He's got Detection. He's going to lose all these Swarm Hosts.
That Warp Prism really messed up Catz.
I agree.
And also being so aggressive and letting that Warp Prism go.
Well, he can't flood Lings right now, right? Like, losing that spawning pool is huge. The only thing he can afford to make are these really expensive things like Ultralisks and... I can't even make Swarm Hosts. He can only make Ultralisks right now. He can actually only make Ultralisks. Did he not make the spawning pool? Oh, he did. Never mind. Take that back. So here the natural. I was looking for it. Like a fool.
Yeah. Yeah. The Ultras actually probably will push this back, which is great for Catz because he needs time, but only for so long. And then Desrow, of course, starts pumping on Immortals as opposed to Colossus, and it's back to the last game.
Yeah. Desrow, I kind of feel it's just got a little too much momentum at this point. There's still Zealots in the main that haven't been fully cleaned up. Now pushing into Catz's 4th. Such a critical base to have. 6 Ultras, though. If these can hatch, I think they can deal with the Colossus, but the mobility of the Stalkers is going to be, I feel, just impossible to keep up with. Blinking around, dodging left and right.
Oh, well, actually, this might just be a choke in favor of the... No? Okay.
I think he could have choked this out really nicely. Phrasing, but still. Gonna chase here with the Ultras. There's not a lot left, but here comes a big warp into Zealots to buffer for this.
Yeah, the Colossus will go down, but that's not... I mean, that's not too big.
This
the
Warp
Lings are still
Prism!
very effective.
This Warp Prism is seriously the enviest P, the most various important person in this game.
All of the Warp Prism Desrow have been really, really great. I mean, this one had set itself up for failure. It was down to 18 HP. It was like, well, I did something, so I was gonna die, and then just continued living.
Like, the first warp, it really didn't do a lot. Like, it caught Catz off guard, but he started cleaning it up. He's gonna recall, but he's gonna get the high for it. There's no way he stops this. Desrow on fire!
Dang.
And the Warp Prism lives. This is kind of really irritating.
Catz, he usually has a lot of queens, and that's great. That's Catz's thing, is to have a lot of queens, but they're not ever there.
You know what Catz doesn't have going for him, like most games prior to this one?
An Overseer?
Well, then upgrades. He's going for level 3 armor, which is cool, but he's got level 0 range and level 1 melee. So, like, the counterattack potential from these Lings isn't even that dangerous.
He doesn't have a lair, so he can't get Overseer, so he has to rely on Spore Crawlers to deal with his TTs.
Oh, no. He's making Ice Spore Crawler, at least.
I think that's hilarious.
This is not a situation you normally see 19 minutes of the game, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He can actually focus on the Spore Crawler, too. Like, he doesn't need to kill drones. He can kill that detection outright. Yeah, there we go.
Get a lair! There's not enough gas for a lair!
This is...
Oh my god.
This is not how I thought Catz was going to go out of Copa America, but Desrow made this look easy, and what I gotta stress, and I have to stress this, guys, is it's not like Catz is a half-ass player. It's not like he's bad at StarCraft 2. In fact, Catz is probably one of the better Zergs in North America, despite what you may or may not think of him. So, the fact that he is going down like this, and Desrow is on top of it all making it look so easy, is really impressive.
The Spore, I did not see the Spore Crawler at first, so I thought maybe like the splash of the blades on his own hatchery killed the DTs.
Oh, the Kaiser blades, yeah.
But then it was not nearly as sick as that. The Spore just rooted. Womp womp.
Womp womp. But here's the thing: that's the one small saving grace for the Ultras. While the Lings are kind of garbage without those upgrades, Ultralists actually don't need weapon upgrades to do a lot of damage. The splash damage makes up for their actual lack of single target, but. I mean, Ling run-bys with level 1 weapon upgrades are just not that threatening.
They should be 3-3 with the general. Like,
yeah. I mean, the Locusts have no upgrades on them either. It's...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no missile.
It's just such a hard spot to be in for Catz, but it's the same situation as before for Desrow, weirdly enough. I mean, yeah, I joked about the whole slow, frustrating win, but that's the thing. Catz is good at holding on with a small amount of units, and he might not have a crazy army, but he's got one that can truck through the Colossus and through those Stalkers, but not through the Immortals, and certainly, well, I guess tentatively maybe with the Archons.
Yeah. And blink stalkers can be kind of deceiving too. If they just blink away far enough, then they're actually very effective against ultras.
Ultras are getting set on fire. Oh my god.
Oh, will Desrow dance? This is the question. He danced in the last
series. I hope not. I hope not. You play a really solid game. You play such a clean macro game 3. GG. Ladies and gentlemen, Desrow will go to the finals of Copa America.